We are starting, guys, with Stephanie McMahon. Perfect timing. Michael Cole has just announced that she's going to be the opener. I thought she was going to be the headliner. So Stephanie is our first tonight. Let's watch this little video package here. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Thanks to everyone who was just here for the SmackDown review. We are back at it again. I really want to watch this, actually. Look at how young she is there. Look at little Steph. I remember seeing her in the magazines.
To be able to come out of that shade that is casted from your family members, it's not easy.
Being born in the WWE is one thing. Becoming one of the greatest on-screen performers is another.
Where to, Stephanie?
She was tremendous. She was a great performer. My mic is not muted, right? I haven't done any sound checks. We came right back up here.
There is not a more iconic female in the history of WWE than Stephanie McMahon. Rise in the presence of the authority and show your respect.
She was tremendous. She was a great performer. We talked about that last night in the watch-along. When she did that Triple H intro, I was like, I just thought she was so hot. I'm like, that's as hot as Stephanie's ever been when she did that. I like we're doing the Let the Bodies because she was a big part of that invasion. She was so good. Like I was the first one to the minute Undertaker made that announcement. I think I was the first one to stand up. Like no debating, she absolutely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. She's one of the best characters they've ever had. She's a natural, absolute natural. Yeah, that scream at the wedding, how great that was. Please stop your applause. She was funnier back when she was younger. She was way funnier. Yeah, she was. She did love doing them slaps, didn't she? Gosh, she slaps everybody. Slapping the Rock. You shouldn't slap people, Stephanie. It's fucking rude. May. She's great. She's got it all, man. Yeah, I think AJ should close. But I thought I had heard that Stephanie was closing. But AJ is the headliner. He should be the headliner. Nobody should close before him. But I kind of thought Stephanie might be. God, that Connor kid would be like 18 years old today or 20 years old, wouldn't he? Shame. He'd be in college. Probably already lost his virginity by now. Living his life. Life sucks, man. I mean, Stephanie hasn't had all hits here. Her own personal 9/11 shit was extremely ignorant. Michael Cole really has lost weight. Now we're seeing a lot of Vince in this video package. I mean, obviously they can't ignore Vince McMahon when you're inducting Stephanie.
She broke down barriers as a female before it was cool to do.
I don't think the women's evolution would be what it is today had there not been Stephanie McMahon.
And going forward, you will no longer be referred to as divas.
Yeah. Fuck I hated the Divas so much.
She took a hold of the women and she was like, all right, it's time.
What do we want? Yellow? Yellow kind of matches, but doesn't look good. Let's do red. Let's do red. I do not think Shane or Vince is there. Shane might be. Vince is not there. I think Vince is not allowed on the property.
We're joined face-to-face on SportsCenter by WWE Chief Brand Officer.
Give it up for Stephanie McMahon.
She's never complacent or satisfied. She's always driven. She's always trying to make things better.
I've seen it with you for 8+ years.
I hate Nick Khan. This fat fuck. Can't stand him. Corporate slug.
In the middle of this crazy tornado that we call WWE, there's like a calming presence that she brings. It feeling like it's her, it's her home, it's her house, it's her living.
It is her house, really. I mean, I am somewhat sad that WWE did sell. Like, I was kind of hoping it would be like a family-owned company. I mean, I think I'd much rather have Stephanie and Triple H own it than TKO owning it, you know? Because so far, throughout the history of the business, there's only really truly been one provable, successful long-term formula. One guy in charge. And right now, the only company that's doing that is AEW. And prior to that, it was WWE because Vince was there. But now, even though Triple H might be head of creative, he is not the only guy in charge. Everything goes through him type of guy. And every other promotion that hasn't had that formula has had some success but hasn't lasted. The Guerreros and Stu and Vern and Fritz and, a lot of the families, run businesses, had lots of success but didn't last.
And she's like, you were down, and I feel like you need to eat something to remind you that you're a sweet person, and that's just always been the woman that she is.
I mean, you do have a lot of people who don't have to say it. They don't have to say it to, protect their spot or be diplomatic. But there is a lot of people that genuinely really like Stephanie McMahon. I've always had a good relationship with her. People speak highly of her, say good things. I think some of the mistakes she made, maybe stupid things she said in her life, those flaws, those incidents are really minor in the grand scheme of things. They're kind of things we all do. We all have. Yeah, I think Stephanie, probably cringes every time she thinks about that 9/11 promo. It's not like she still believes that. She's probably mortified by what she said, and unlike us, a camera's not in our face all the time. So not every stupid thing we say gets caught on camera. Well, actually, they do here with me because the camera is on my face right now. But you know what I'm talking about.
Be remembered in this business as someone who made contributions to it.
But I very much enjoyed, for the most part, Stephanie on television. The authority stuff was wearing thin on all of us. But in those early days, she was just unbelievably good.
Stephanie McMahon, I am 4th generation in this business, and I'm proud and honored to be here.
Look how young she is. We're the same age. We could have dated. I like the stage here. I will say that.
To the Hall of Fame of her daughters, Aurora, Murphy, and Vaughn, and her mother, Linda.
Linda is here. Holy shit. So her daughters and Linda. So I have to say something real quick. I have really hated what they have done to the Hall of Fame lately. I'm glad to see it back up on a stage like this in a smaller building. It's not like just tied into SmackDown, So these are Triple H's daughters, huh? I don't even think I've ever seen pictures of them. Check them out. They're all pretty. They all got that nose.
Good evening, everyone.
Good job, Triple H. You passed that down to all of them.
And I have one of the greatest privileges and are honored to induct her mother into the WWE class of 2026 Hall of Fame.
The oldest does look like Stephanie, doesn't she? Kind of looks like Deonna Purrazzo a little bit.
I've had the unique experience growing up on the road with my parents.
So this one here, she's the one who was when Stephanie was pregnant in like 2003. That's this one.
Little matching Stephanie McMahon power suit right into the production meeting. I would then march up to the front of the room and start the meeting with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
You did not inherit your parents' promo ability.
What I didn't know was that at 2 years old, it was from watching my mother own every room she walked into that gave me the confidence and would shape the person I am today.
Don't really know much about their kids, you know.
Family business, it's assumed that everything is handed to you. I couldn't be farther from the truth and made my mother determined to work harder than everyone else to earn everything. She's had to work 10 times as hard to even get a foot in the door, especially as a woman in a male-dominated business. She's always said the famous Eleanor...
I hate Linda McMahon. This jigsaw-looking bitch. Oh my God.
which has driven to her success in her career.
Smiling,
Learning the business
that rubber-faced monster smile of hers while she dismantles
powerful women and sports.
education in this country. Fuck her.
Showed me a picture last week from when she was my age, selling WWE merchandise at a fan festival. She climbed the ladder.
You look like your mom, kid. You really do.
And then CEO and chairwoman of WWE. Along the way, she changed the women's division in WWE, spearheading the women's evolution, allowing the divas to become superstars, turning women's popcorn matches into WrestleMania.
I think it's got to be even harder for. Oh, look at Trish. Good Lord. And Becky. Look at them. Oh, there's a good look at everybody here.
To stand
I want to pause it.
society that didn't see a place for women in the business and to not only speak up for them, but to change their future, taught me the true power of voice and perseverance in the face of challenge.
Just Smitty, this is the Hall of Fame is airing on the ESPN Unlimited, is where I'm watching it.
The power of my voice and perseverance. And don't get me wrong, sometimes my voice can get me in trouble, which though she won't admit, I definitely get from my mom. I don't think she realizes how much my sisters and I looked up to our whole lives.
I like that the other two are blonde, and the older one's dark hair.
And how that shaped us. Standing here today, I realize I'm still that same little girl looking up to her mom, and I wouldn't be who I am without my mother, my hero, my role model, and my inspiration. Mama, my favorite compliment I will ever hear is you are just like Stephanie, because all I've ever wanted to be was just like you. I couldn't be prouder of you. Congratulations, and I love you more. I've spent the last couple of weeks trying to write this speech for my mom. I wanted to write about all the amazing...
Well, I didn't catch her name. What's this one's name?
but none of it really
Oh,
captures
Murphy.
just how
Murphy.
she is. A lot of that came
Is there a hashtag for this? HOF or Hall of Fame? What the fuck is it?
relationship with her out in the open, especially when she means so much to me. But one of the greatest lessons she has taught me is that vulnerability is a form of true strength. So I'm here to tell you what my mom means to me. My mom has always truly just seen me. No matter what front I've put up, I've never felt more seen than I do with her. And that goes beyond me. She is the most empathetic person I know. Over the years, I've seen the way she not only brings out the best in people, but also the way she's been there for others.
Yeah, they're definitely reading from a teleprompter, but
My mom truly has the biggest heart. Over 12 years ago, she heard a single story about a boy named Connor, and after he lost his battle with
boy, she loved Connor, man.
she made it her mission to change the world for kids with cancer, and she has. This year, she even helped spearhead an executive order
Brandy and Cody sit next to Cena.
to help find
There's
cures for
Rollins.
pediatric cancer. A funny little detail about my mom has to do with one of her best qualities, her laugh. Sometimes when we're out and I can't find her, I just listen for her laugh, and I swear it's basically a homing beacon. I wouldn't be surprised if you could hear it backstage tonight. That laugh truly is just so contagious and bright. Whenever she walks into a room, the sun starts shining and people start smiling. But don't let that sunshine attitude fool you. My mom is a certified badass. She raised 3 girls, a challenge in itself, but she also
Yeah, 3 girls, no less. Good God, could you imagine?
paving the way for so many women across the world. I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty inspiring to me. Anytime someone tells me how I take after my mom,
There's
I
Nikki.
honestly feel so honored. From the little things like our twinning blue eyes, loud laughs, and big smiles, to the more meaningful things like how I take after my mother's soul. My mom also happened to pass down a couple of her moves, like the signature slap. Sorry about that, Aurora. I really don't know where I'd be without
Would she slap her sister or something?
my best friend, confidant, and forever my inspiration to be my best self. Mom, I'm so incredibly proud of you, and I can't think of anyone more deserving for this honor. Thank you for always being the light in my life, constantly guiding me, lifting me up, and reminding me who I am. I love you more than you love me.
So that was Murphy, Aurora Murphy, and I don't know if they're going in
Before I could talk,
age.
Mom has always told me a quote by Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said.
Vaughn, okay.
Forget what you did,
Aurora,
but people will never forget
Murphy, and Vaughn.
My mom is truly a perfect example of what this quote stands for. She has an incredible gift of making every single person she meets feel special, even if it's just for a moment. I think it might be impossible to be in a room with her for more than 10 minutes and not smile and laugh. Her love
Yes, just Smitty. Triple H did close last year, and his acceptance speech is still going on.
and all it takes is one hug,
He's still talking.
conversation, or, for me, one dance in the kitchen. One of my favorite memories I have is my dancing in the kitchen with my mother. Spinning around while blasting the music as I distracted her from cleaning the dishes would always make my day. As the singer of the family, I've always felt slightly different growing up, surrounded by my insanely athletic sisters and parents, while I ran around singing Let It Go from Frozen to anyone who would listen. But my mom has always understood this part of me that I felt like sometimes no one else got. Music has always been my escape, so although dancing in the kitchen may sound like a simple fun memory, it has so much more meaning than that. No matter what happened during the day, whether it left me on cloud 9 or in tears, I always knew that I could come home and sing and dance in the kitchen with my mom. And even though we would sing all the wrong words, and our dance moves were, let's just say, not the best, doing this with her always allowed me to let go of what
hey,
happened
buddy.
that day and
Come on
just
up.
be myself.
Hey.
My mom has a special way of making people feel like this. She's like a ray of sunshine that warms and brightens
Wave.
when she comes across. This is one of my favorite things about her, and part of the reason she is the amazing person she is today. I don't think she will ever truly know how much it means to me or the people that surround her. I hope today, with her getting inducted into the 2026 Hall of Fame, she can realize this and feel just as special as
I hope Linda doesn't speak.
Mom, thank you so much. I'm so
Sit.
beyond proud of you, and I love you more.
Oh, Linda's going to speak.
Well, I know that I'm a bit prejudiced, but aren't they magnificent?
They are. Triple H and Stephanie have beautiful kids. They really do. I've never seen any of them. I think I've seen Shane's boys. Like, Shane's got boys and Stephanie has girls, right? That's crazy.
Could I
Because Shane's came out and danced with them one year at WrestleMania, so I saw them as they were little.
blue-eyed little daughter in my arms?
I know one of them plays football,
Years
but I've
later,
never met the girls.
I would have the privilege and honor of standing on the WWE Universe stage along with her sweet, beautiful daughters to induct her into the WWE Hall of Fame. This is very interesting for me because I got to wear a couple of hats in this journey, both as a mom and as a business leader. And
What's your husband up to these days, Linda? I forget his name. What's he doing?
in reverse order how this all came about.
Anything new going on in his life? I don't know, like lawsuits, car accidents, anything, to talk about? No?
Bosses are your father, the chairman, and your mother, the CEO. by the fact that your brother was already a young executive and performing in the company. That same brother, I might add, who lifted her up over his head one day in our family room to body slam her onto the sofa, but instead he threw her over the sofa,
Yep.
having her hit the wall of glass French doors, which thankfully did not break.
Oh.
His first words to her were, "You're all right, you're not hurt."
I, too, have botched a wrestling move or two on a sister. Been there.
And she never did.
My mom was not happy. I think my mom's still a little mad about that.
A full public indoctrination in the company, since she had declared when she was much younger, long before she started college, that this is where she wanted to work and build a career. At first, I was surprised by this because all the time she was growing up, she loved
Linda, you know what your voice makes me want to do?
to perform. She went to a drama performance camp in upstate New York for 3 weeks one summer. Little did I envision at that time that she was destined for a much bigger stage. The starting point was at WWE New York City sales office. What better place to learn customers, vendors, and business partners and how they perceived your product than to be on the ground making the sales pitch with professional salespeople. The next few months were in my office, schedule, appointments, and my routine. Now, this part
You know, I'll always have a little bit of defense for people like Stephanie McMahon and Tony Khan. This idea that they given you all the AEW haters, daddy's money. I'm like, it's not like he went to college. He did shit. Like, it's not like he just was born. He's a fucking moron. He just breathes oxygen, eats chips, and plays video games all day like you do, and is given $1 billion company. It's not the way it works. You have to do something. Yes, it helps to have a billionaire father. Or your parents being the McMahons. Yes, that helps, but you still have to do shit. Stephanie did shit. It wasn't just handed to her. She's not a moron. It's not like Tommy Boy, you know. I think these fans who think that way think that the Tony Khan and Stephanie are fucking Chris Farley. They're not. They're educated, smart people who know what they're doing, you know. I'll always have Stephanie's back with that stuff. Same with Tony Khan.
became a crowd favorite, whether she was a baby face or a heel. And she more than once told me how much more fun it was to be a heel.
She's a heel.
She connected with the audience. She had charisma, an innate sense of performance. And this is so important in this wonderful business, knowing when you have the audience right in your hand, when to pump them up, when to let things kind of chill, and when to bring home the big finish. But beyond all of that, she understood and loved this unique industry. She learned in a very short
I'm not even sure what Linda has as Botox. I don't know what this rubber-faced shit she's got on.
network with executives
Like you said, a never-ending surprise party.
and with WWE for mutual success. And in 2020 and 2021, Forbes magazine named her as the #2 most influential chief marketing officer in the world and the most influential female CMO in the world. I repeat, in the world.
Yeah. Wow, most of the talent is there, it looks like.
Prestigious Eisenhower Fellow and a Hendry Crown Fellow. The Eisenhower program is designed to build global connections.
Linda,
And her specific
stop talking.
assignments were in Singapore and Brazil. And she's now a part of a lifetime.
I don't even know what the relationship is with Vince. Like, it's got to be weirder for Triple H and Stephanie because they have daughters who are now growing into women. And when you're thinking about the things that Vince McMahon is being accused of, it would be hard for me having daughters to have a relationship going forward with my dad.
She was clearly its face and most successful.
Knowing that if he wasn't related to my kids, that they could be victims of his. It'd be tough for me to
From that young girl out of
comprehend that.
taking her place in a family business to a seasoned and accomplished executive in a now New York Stock Exchange public and global company. And she rocked it. She had charted her own course, blazed
It's got to be crazy for Linda, though. She's like,
and was clearly
I used to own
making
this
her
place,
own mark,
and I don't
quickly
now.
becoming
How weird is that?
the woman and CEO of the company she loved, WWE. I left the company to pursue a somewhat different career, just as Stephanie was beginning to hit her stride. So I was able to watch as an outside observer and appreciate the very skilled executive that was quickly emerging.
And she is still married to Vince McMahon. Isn't that crazy? They haven't seen each other in like 10 years. She's still married to him. Fucking insane.
There is nothing more rewarding.
Family values in the Republican Party, right?
People praise her child.
Totally normal.
I have constantly heard things
Jesus
like,
is proud.
her smile lights up the room and makes you feel happy. And the reason for that is because the light of love that shines deep inside her. Many have told me Steph has the best hugs. And that's because
Steph has the best hugs.
arms around you and hugs like she never wants to let you go. And as you've heard, Steph's laugh is contagious. And as you saw in the video, her laugh is distinctive, even when others are laughing too. It's loud with gusto that comes from deep in her belly.
Gusto.
Many speak of her warmth and genuine compassion. And all of this is true. And I know that because I've had a window to watch her grow from a little girl with those qualities into one of the most spectacular women I know. And to round out my thoughts for tonight from a mom's perch is watching Stephanie herself as a mom. She married the love of her life, Paul Levesque. And they produced these three beautiful, sweet daughters. Steph is a loving, caring, nurturing, and all things good moms are. She shows her girls strength, perseverance, and tries with success most of the time to have them show tolerance for each other. But I confess that that's best described as a work in progress. But she's also not afraid to show her vulnerability. They see her cry when she's sad or hurt, when something touches her heart. She shares when she's troubled, and they understand that life is not always perfect.
Damn, we're getting way too much of Linda here.
See her anger, sometimes flare, when a driver cuts her off on the road or someone's not driving maybe at the right speed she thinks they should be, maybe not fast enough. Occasionally there might even be an expletive. So hopefully I've shared with you enough to know that Stephanie McMahon Levesque is so worthy and so deserving to join the elite members of the WWE Hall of Fame. And I couldn't be more proud to share the honor of inducting her with her daughters, Aurora, Murphy, and Vaughn. And as her mom, I'd like to say, Stephanie, you're one of the most remarkable women I know. You give me such joy and love. You are an inspiration.
Linda's speech to me longer than Stephanie's. Well, it's a mom to her daughter. I mean, Stephanie's dad can't be there because he's a piece of shit. And his mom ain't no picnic either, but she ain't shitting in people's hair, so I'll give her a pass today.
Stephanie McMahon.
Ah, her song. Hey, it's not. I hated the "You're All Grown Up." I hated that one so much. I did really like. I mean, it got me almost. I mean, I loved when Undertaker told her that she was going to be in the Hall of Fame. That WrestlePalooza. That was my favorite part of the whole show. That was so wholesome. The man who once kidnapped you and held you prisoner and then tried to marry you in some satanic ritual wound up informing you that you're going to be going into the Hall of Fame. I think Nikki Bella is sitting directly behind John Cena and his wife. That's awesome. Steph, you still got it, girl. You have still got it.
That was quite the introduction. Thank all of you. And if that isn't the embodiment of the women's evolution, then I don't know what is. The only person who's missing is my grandmother.
Oh.
I miss you, Mama.
Oh, she just passed away.
Mother more than anything in the world, and Paul wanted to be a father.
Was that a dig at Vince?
Devastating for us.
Was that a shot at her dad?
Reasons that we might not.
She said the only person missing is my grandmother.
But one thing we learned early on is if you want anything in life, you have to be willing to
Wow.
completely fight for it. And that we did. And through modern medicine and by the grace of God, we were blessed with our 3 remarkable daughters. You mean everything in the world to us. And Aurora, Murphy, and Vaughn, I am willing to fight for you, and I will continue to fight for you every single day of my life. Aurora, as she said in her speech, which I had not heard ahead of time, she grew up on the road on our tour bus. She was wheeled on my briefcase, holding on. And she did indeed sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star to a room full of jaded wrestling producers who put her over. Thank you. She once told me she didn't want my job. She didn't want Daddy's job. She wanted Pop's job. She was destined to be the boss. Go Springfield softball.
Oh, yeah, no mention of Shane either. True.
The only baby I have ever seen our head of security hold close was my middle daughter, Murphy, who decided
Maybe she's just talking about the women in the family. Maybe it was that. Maybe it wasn't a dig on Vince or Shane.
brand new suit. It was a full blowout. Murphy played 4 years of high school tackle football. She never missed
Tackle?
practice, workout, or game, and she was the only girl on her team. When she took big hits as a running back, she got right back up. earning
She played football for boys? With boys? That little cute girl right there played football?
And then there's Vaughn.
Okay.
I think Vaughn may be one of a very small group of people who have had both the John Cena and The Rock at different times sing Happy Birthday just for her. Which is very fitting given her gift of voice and her ability to command a room with just her presence. You are my greatest gifts and my mirror. I learn my most valuable lessons through you. And I love you more. Which leads me to my mom. Truthfully, my mom should be the one going into the Hall of Fame tonight.
No way.
She was the very first CEO of WWE. And if it weren't for her, and of course my father, Vince McMahon,
All right, she brought Vince up. Okay. All right. And of course, they cheered for him.
be here tonight. Especially me.
These fucking fans are so idiotic. Ah, thank you. Fuck off.
Remarkable life filled with
Just the word. You know exactly what type of men are doing that too.
that have shaped me into who I
The womanless ones.
I also want to thank my brother Shane.
Yeah. There's a Shane shout out.
Always there to protect me and stretch me, and who taught me how to be tough. And to his wife Marissa and my nephews Declan, Kenyon, and Rogan, no matter what has happened or what will happen in this life, I will always love all of you.
She's probably a fun aunt. Aunt Stephanie. Aunt Stephanie's coming over.
People say
It's probably a good time.
life is wrestling, and that couldn't be more true for me. I literally grew up in this business. The Grand Wizard, or Uncle Ernie as I knew him,
Grand Wizard.
Jacuzzi, which was a metal bathtub with a boat engine on the back of it set up in our driveway.
Ew.
Coming home from school to find Ric Flair in the living room. Or learn Mr. T was having dinner and he wanted his favorite liver. Or
His
Hulk Hogan
favorite liver?
to my 9th grade prom was all normal. I regularly went to Madison Square Garden where Betty Skolin would watch me in the crowd.
Betty Skolin.
and talk me out of my
She was always in the crowd.
Stars Ice Cream Bar.
I've shared an arena with Betty Skolin like a few times.
Then go to Smith and Wally's and listen to everyone talk shop. I modeled for the magazine, made my television debut trick-or-treating at Roddy Piper's house on Saturday night's main event. And I broke my ankle and wrist at different times trying to beat Jimmy Superfly Snuka. My dad, Bruce Pritchard, and Pat Patterson would write TV from our house, and I would try to listen and learn as much as possible between sandwich and soda runs. I might not have realized how differently I grew up than everyone else, but one thing was for certain. I loved everything about our business. And working for WWE in any capacity was all I ever wanted to do. I Xeroxed, collated, stuffed envelopes, and answered the switchboard. I still remember Howard Finkel's extension, 8651, and that's all before I graduated high school. It's almost unthinkable to me that I am here tonight, many, many decades later, being inducted into the 2026 WWE Hall of Fame.
Is Roman there? I can't tell if I don't think Roman's there unless that's him behind in the second row, behind Cody.
Thank you. It is beyond an honor, especially to be inducted alongside the phenomenal AJ Styles,
Demolition.
Rodman, the legacy inductees Sid Vicious and Bad News Brown, and the immortal moment, Hogan versus Andre.
I forgot about the immortal moment.
Privilege of being there, WrestleMania 3 at the Pontiac Silverdome,
Yeah.
where we did break the indoor attendance record at 93,173 people. I remember
So you say.
watching my friend Andre the Giant make his entrance in the slowest golf cart of all time. And I was devastated.
Those golf carts were awesome.
My first dinner date was with Andre. I was about 14 years old and I got dropped off at his favorite French restaurant near the office in Stamford, Connecticut. He was larger than life in every way. It seemed like the cane he was using was going to explode under his weight as we went to the table. Andre and I sat down and he proceeded to order absolutely everything.
I'll have page 1.
Plus a few bottles of wine, only for him. His hand engulfed the entire glass, and at one point he looked around and started laughing, and he said, "Everyone in here, they think I'm a dirty old man."
Andre, you kind of are.
Because I never saw him as anything but my friend. And I hated the way people would gawk at him or judge him just because he looked different. In our world, everyone was and is different. As far as I knew, Pat was gay and married to Louis. Adrian Adonis dressed like a woman. Lord Littlebrook was small. The big cat Ernie Ladd was outspoken. Piper was out of his mind. And the Iron Sheik got me drinks. Once.
Got me drinks once. Yeah. Awesome.
And that just doesn't go for our superstars. That goes for all of us as fans. We come from all over the world, from different backgrounds, ethnicities, beliefs, capabilities, and ideologies. And what brings us together is this shared passion for what happens in that ring. The one place where we control our own destiny, where our differences are our strengths, where we ride or die with the characters we love and the stories that give us hope, the stories that make us human. Because at the end of the day, we're all the same, and all we have is each other. And together we can truly
I barely remember last year's. Is this how last year's was? Was it in the same venue?
Connor's cure. Because
We did a watch along for it. I can't remember anything.
millions of dollars to find a cure for pediatric cancer, all in the name of an 8-year-old boy and fellow WWE Hall of Famer Connor Mahalik.
Yeah, he was 8, so he'd be 20.
Take you back to a
He'd be 20.
campaign we created with the V Foundation called Superstars for Hope.
I'm Crazy Kelsey. I am the Green Machine. Superman Jimmy, the Destroyer.
I am Lance, the Tumornator.
The Tumornator.
WWE Superstar. Jimmy, Green Machine.
How'd you come up with the name The Destroyer?
Because I destroy cancer.
When I put this outfit on, I feel
I don't really
power.
believe in a heaven, but if there is one and I go there, the very first thing I'm going to ask the guy in charge, I'm going to say, cancer in children. What the fuck is that about?
And together we
Explain yourself.
But
1, 2, 3. Jimmy wins!
Apparently you're all powerful and all knowing. You could have easily created a world where this thing didn't exist, and yet you chose to.
Something that wasn't sad but was instead
So eat me.
And did you all see that little boy at the end who lifted up his walker and said, Jimmy wins? Well, that's Superman Jimmy Spagnolo, who happens to be here today.
Yes, Jimmy's here. Look how old. I was about to say, because that was many years ago.
Please stand.
I was worried about some of those kids because I knew that was a long time ago. Look how big he is.
Jimmy wasn't supposed to live past 1 year old. And I'm ecstatic to say, in 2 weeks on May 11th, Jimmy will celebrate his 16th birthday. Could the entire family please stand?
Good job, Jimmy.
Lacey, Lily, Jim, and Jimmy.
Not supposed to live past 1 and you're 16 now. That's
You are truly
pretty awesome.
remarkable.
Way to go, Jimmy. You're a stud. One of them WWE women's wrestlers needs to take you to the prom. Have Liv do it. Liv will do it. She's down. She's trouble.
Your reaction doesn't surprise me one bit, because WWE is the most supportive, good-hearted community I have ever known. And I could not be more grateful for all of you. You are the one constant. No matter what I was going through in my life, you were always there to boo or cheer or chant horrible things at me.
Well, she was good at it, though. You should be proud of that, Stephanie. It's a badge of honor.
Samoans who helped me when a riot broke out at the LA Coliseum. Thank you to the person who worked at the airport in Abu Dhabi and wore a Connor's Cure bracelet. Thank you to the man at the strip mall in New Hampshire who told me everything was going to be okay. I think I could thank nearly everyone in this room for impacting my life in some way. Crew, referees, bus and truck drivers, custodians.
I mean, think about all the people she knew, like from the late or mid 80s.
Catering, hair and makeup, agents and producers, employees, partners, production, and especially our superstars. It is
Becky's
an
dress is
honor to
crazy.
serve you, and I will continue to cheer you on as you impact generations. And to those of you who I may have burst your eardrum with one of my slaps, I am truly sorry. But there's really only one person to blame for that. My mother-in-law. She's the one who taught me how to slap.
Really? Look at Triple H's parents. Wow.
Thank you for welcoming me into your family with open
So Triple H's mom taught her the slapping technique? That's crazy.
My sister,
That's crazy.
thank you for always having my back. And to my niece and nephew, Nasa and Peter, I love you like you were my own.
That's cool. That's his brothers?
Special thank you to some of my real-life groomsmen, and I'm going to go through this quickly. HBK, or as my kids call him, Uncle Sean.
Uncle Sean.
The Undertaker, William Regal, the Nature Boy, and Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash.
My co-podcaster, Elise, Jackie, Julie, Rich, Terry, Tim, Tara, Jimmy, Ed, Laura, Brian,
Terry, Tyrell, and Jane.
the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Classy, Freddie Blassie, Jacqueline, Trish Stratus, Lita Sable, Ronda Rousey, the Bellas, Natty, the Four Horsewomen, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Paul Heyman, Kurt Angle, Batista,
Kurt Angle.
Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, The Rock, Y2J, Mick Foley, and John Cena.
Y2J.
Thank you to Nick, Yvette, Natalie, and Sonny Khan, Mark Shapiro, and Ari Emanuel.
Ew, Ari.
And most importantly, thank you to the man of my dreams, Paul Triple H Levesque. He used to
Hey,
come
bud.
to producers' meetings wearing a black leather jacket, chomping gum, putting his feet up and rocking back in his chair.
She's mentioned that before. She hated that.
Everything that I taught to be disrespectful. But there was something irresistible about him.
Now I gotta feed my cat. You want some food, buddy?
But I just couldn't seem to resist this man. He would flick little balled up pieces of paper at me that no one else seemed to notice.
Stop. No.
When we'd go to give each other a hug, it was so awkward, like we had never hugged anybody before. And then one night after a Raw in Nashville, I was sitting on the floor in the office, and he came and asked me if he could give me a call. You know, to talk business. And we never stopped talking. Paul, you are my soulmate, you are my hero, and you are the man of my dreams. And for the record, you flirted with me first.
While he was with China.
Whether I was that girl in the magazine, the character in the show, or even briefly leading as chairwoman and co-CEO, my entire life has been lived through WWE. And a few years ago, I thought all of that was lost. But you helped me realize that that wasn't true. And no matter what, it will always be a part of me, as it is a part of all of you. The video package that played before I came out, thank you Adam and Colleen, ended with the song Home.
I wonder if it's the same Adam.
And I want to reinforce that all of us who have
Like from
ever
George and Adam?
or loved our business in some way,
I wonder if that's
we are
that
one
Adam.
family. And WWE will always and forever be our home. And last but not least, since we're here to induct Stephanie McMahon, who was predominantly a heel, I think it's only appropriate that we hear what she would have to say.
Oh. We're going to get the Stephanie Heel promo at the Hall of Fame? Oh.
You're damn right I deserve this recognition.
That's funny.
Most brilliant, most beautiful, most powerful boss bitch there ever was.
Well,
You were cheering for your little
I could have saved you some time, AW. You want...
I see you, Sami Zayn. I was busy running this company and turning it into the global
You could save your $2.
today, providing you with the opportunity to make a name for yourself that I will profit from until my dying day, and give the rest of you an outlet for your pathetic dreams.
Hey,
Grown men
easy.
tremble and cry before me, knowing I held the key to whether
You
or not
don't-
they could provide for their
You don't make me tremble and cry.
I love to watch their stupid pride crumble as I slack them across the face with that reality. That, ladies and gentlemen, is true power, and I wield it unmercifully. So unless you want to be on my bad side, I recommend you get on your feet right now. Stand up and bask in my glory as I, Stephanie McMahon, am immortalized
All right.
WWE Hall of Fame.
Good job, Stephanie. Now, I didn't have a problem with that induction or the speech. I'm just going to be a little bit bummed out if Demolition then gets 8 minutes. You know, that went like an hour. So, like, obviously not everybody can have an hour-long speech here. It's going to be 6 o'clock in the morning before we're done. But
26 Hall of Fame inductee AJ Styles is here with his entire family, the phenomenal one to be immortalized tonight. Also tonight, it's the immortal moment for many of us. The greatest
the immortal moment.
Mania history.
They might do that one next.
Around the world.
Are we going to get commercials on this ESPN app?
Walk in like you own
We might.
because confidence, that's your superpower. You don't dodge the noise. You flip it, own it, make it yours.
Any last-minute predictions for tomorrow, guys, before we... I mean, I've done my predictions, but... I just remembered that I did not have an image for... When I was putting the Hall of Fame thing together, I completely forgot about Hogan and Andre. I just want to make sure that when they do induct the match that I have something for us. There we go. There we go. Got to make sure we got Hogan and Andre on here when the time is right. I'm not sure who's up next. I feel like it might be... I hope they don't do Bad News and Sid back to back. And I also wish that both of them had like a standard induction with their family instead of the legacy shit. But be hard to fit all that in with time, I guess. Yeah, Odyssey, I think you're right. SmackDown's, since they've been doing this, have generally sucked. There's too much going on at once, you know? So everybody's at SmackDown trying to get through that so they can get over to the Hall of Fame. I'm glad they had the hour break so the talent could get over there, allowed me to do a review. We were able to review SmackDown prior to the Hall of Fame starting. Yo, they might do Rodman next. Yeah, Rodman might be the better choice there. We still got AJ. I still have to make a steak. I have a steak that I've pre-salted that's in my fridge. Getting nice and ready. I got to cook that when we're done. It's going to be midnight for me, so I'm going to probably eat a steak at like 12:30 or 1 a.m. in the morning. It's good for someone who's almost 50 to do that. It's good for your digestive to have a steak in the middle of the fucking night. Your body will love that. But I'm going to do it. There's no rules on WrestleMania. You want to make a 1 a.m. steak? Do it. When I say I do something, I'm going to do it. I don't give a damn. Isn't that an Eminem lyric, right? I'll make a steak if I want. That reminds me. I got to feed Tito. Hold on one second. Hey, buddy.
Too much cheese? Never. The OM cheeseburger for $11.99. Only an apple. You know, just down the street, that's the home of the NFL.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you. I forgot Tito's got to eat. Elizabeth bought me a bunch of energy shots. All right, Tito, I can feed you, buddy. You guys are watching a live Tito feeding during the Hall of Fame. There's his bowl. This is the disgusting shit that he eats. Oh, there's a Ray. Look at Nikki, Ray, Bree, Seth. No, over here. Gunther. They're showing everybody, buddy, and I'm missing it. Ugh. No, over here. So nasty. Who is it? Sid? Oh, it's going to be bad news. Oh, bad news was so fun. Ugh. Cozy, I don't think it's 11 p.m. in the UK. Unless you're talking about something else. Oh, probably the start time of Mania. I got it. Mania. Yeah, just Smitty, I don't know where you are. I live on the west coast of the United States. So for me, WrestleMania starts at 3. For the East Coast over here, it starts at 6. I remember that Battle Royal. That was the first WrestleMania I watched on pay-per-view. I loved his... He was so great.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the family of Bad News.
Okay, so they are going to get some sort of a... Oh, I guess they're not coming out on stage, though. Shh. Stand up. Stand up. They do not look like happy to be there. That was awkward as all hell.
Your many accolades, you're a 9-time tag team champion.
It's 10, but who's counting?
So anyhow, you know how important tag team wrestling.
Oh, good. It's going to be Demolition. Sweet.
As a kid, I loved tag team wrestling. Legion of Doom, Demolition. If it had face paint, I was all in. Now, thanks to Danhausen, I've seen enough. Tag team wrestling is all in a class of its own. It's about trust.
I'm going to wash my hand off.
Knowing your partner has your back no matter what. Demolition, well, they didn't just understand that, they dominated it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the latest inductees into the WWE Hall of Fame.
There's a new game in town, people. Hailing from parts unknown. We live at the end of Elm Street. When Freddy Krueger wants to come home, he has to.
Third favorite tag team of all time.
Here comes the smell history. There's Demolition, walking disaster.
Arriving to WWE in 1987, Bill Eaton and Barry Darso took on the personas of Axe and Smash.
Do we know who's inducting them? I don't think we know. I forgot my drink over there.
Demolition. I can take you back to my childhood. As a kid, they were larger than life.
I grew up watching and loving Demolition.
I love Demolition. They were my favorite tag team growing up as a kid.
they looked like killers, and that to me was so badass. Well, the monsters are here, and your nightmare's about to begin.
They were like something from a horror film.
They had that Jason Bourne mask, the black and the leather, the entrance gear. Then they take the mask off, and now their face is also painted.
As a little kid, I was really scared of them.
They made such excellent Road Warrior counterparts, I thought. You know, Vince, obviously, this team was so they could create their own version of them, but man, did they create their own legacy. I always said that Axe was Animal and Smash was Hawk. Even their promo differences were similar. You know, Axe was very no-nonsense, very commanding voice, you know, where Smash was a little more animated. It would say some funny shit, just like Hawk would. Although I think Hawk was funnier.
Demolition's first reign as champions would last an astonishing 16 months.
We're controlling the tag team championship scene.
Axe and Smash became the longest reigning tag team champions in WWE history. A record that would stand for nearly 30
Till New Day broke it finally. Yeah, but they won the titles at WrestleMania 4, kept them all the way through WrestleMania 5.
fans who grew up during WWE's golden era of the late 1980s.
Did I just mute it? Yep.
Most iconic tag teams.
That might have been my favorite when they beat Colossal Connection.
Smash into the WWE Hall of Fame.
I was hugely marking out for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, here to induct Axe and Smash into the Hall of Fame, one of the baddest men on the planet, Haku.
Oh!
Four horsemen,
Oh!
Arn Anderson,
Oh!
from the Powers of Pain, Warlord.
I love this! The crowd is not marking out for this the way they should be. Haku, Arn Anderson, and the Warlord. So Haku and Arn Anderson both traded tag team titles with Demolition. Powers of Pain did not, but they did wrestle at WrestleMania against each other and did have quite the feud. I love this. I love this.
It's such an honor to be up here tonight.
Look at Warlord.
One of the greatest tag teams ever, Demolition. From the way they walk to the ring, with their amazing outfits, their vest, their studded vest, and their heart-pounding song, you knew they were special. Then there was their achievements in the ring as a tag team. Not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Yeah, Warlord does look. I met Warlord a couple years ago. He was so nice. Insisted I call him by his real name, which I can't remember now.
The first time, 478 days. That was a record never to be broken in the old WWE. I know.
There must be a tape delay here because they bleeped out WWF when he said it.
And boy, I had a lot of Mr. Fuji's cane broken over my back and pummeled into that mat with their iconic double axe hammer every single night. Brutal.
Haku, I love him. Look at Haku.
After 35 years, Andre the Giant and Bobby Heenan can't believe that I'm standing here and talk about them. So, when Demolition came to be, I had the opportunity to tag against them with 3 different partners.
Mm-hmm. They definitely faced when they were the Islanders. Mm-hmm.
With Toma Kid, Sibasi,
Siviafi.
of our feud is one half of the colossal connection with Andre.
I think WWE wanted Siviafi to be like another Snuka, but he wasn't.
Managing us. The colossal connection defended our tag team titles at one of the greatest WrestleMania 6 in Toronto, Canada.
That was great. That match was the second match on the card that night.
In Korea, Andre told me I must look strong and stay alive. If it still shocks me, hear that I wrestled most of that match.
You wrestled all that match.
And Smash, thank you for taking care of me. It was an honor to be in the match with you guys. Thank you.
I love Haku. I'm so glad he's here. Arn, too.
Come on now. You didn't think I was going to just fade to black, did you? Well, tonight is not about me as I look at all these beautiful people and tremendous athletes. It's about two guys that broke the standard. Bill Eadie had gained worldwide respect as a talent. Barry Darso, since 1982, have been one of my best friends on the planet. So this is a special one for me.
I'm glad Demolition is getting like a real Hall of Fame induction and not like during the pandemic one and, you know, the couple pandemic years we had. I still feel like they should have gone in years ago, though.
Everybody, and I mean everybody. And Barry and I were supposed to be friends. Couldn't figure that one out. And I said, what the hell's the matter with you, man? You're killing me out there. Gotta protect the gimmick.
Yeah.
Now, if he said I gotta protect the gimmick, I would listen up. But the fact of the matter is...
Oh, really? Ryan Adams? Jake Hager won his Power Slap debut and yelled, "Fuck you, Tony Khan." It's not Tony Khan's fault that he sucks. It's nobody's fault that he sucks. Blame no one. You're a fucking tool bag, Jake Hager.
So, without much further ado, this is an easy one. The newest members of the WWE Hall of Fame, Demolition.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I was 14 years old the last time this song played in a WWE arena. How is Darso bigger than Edie? Oh, wow. It's very cool. I mean, this was long overdue, man. And I'm just glad they're both still alive. I mean, Bill Eadie has had a lot of health problems. Part of the reason why they added Crush was because of his health problems. And that was like 35 years ago. It is about time. Demolition. They still do conventions together. They do appearances all the time, Demolition.
Hard to beat Stephanie McMahon's speech. That's incredible, huh? Is she unreal or what? All right. This is just one of the most incredible moments of my life. I've been around the wrestling business for over 40 years, and it all comes down to tonight, the WWE Hall of Fame. What an honor, and thank you very much. And it's that ring right there.
They got their rings. He looks good, Darso.
People that I need to say thanks to, I'm only going to name a few. About 39 years
Still got that Midwest Minnesota accent.
and he showed me a picture of what the Demolition characters would look like. And I didn't know anything about the Demolition. I didn't know what it looked like. And he asked me, he said, do you think you can be this character? And I looked him right in the eye. I said, you're darn right I can be this character. I'm Demolition Smash.
Not at first, you weren't. They had a moondog in there with Axe at first.
Kind of laughed, and he said, I just need to get a hold of Bill Eadie and make sure that everything's okay with him, and it would be a good tag team for the both of us. And, I said, perfect. So I knew Bill through some mutual friends, and everybody spoke so highly of him. Bill and I met a couple weeks later. The next thing you know, we're partners. We're the Demolition. The first day in the ring, it just clicked. It was incredible. The next thing you know, we're in the Trump Plaza, winning the tag team titles from Tito Santana and Rick Martel. Unbelievable.
And I was not happy about them winning. I liked Strikeforce, but
I need to thank Bill Eadie for this moment right here, because he's what's made this so easy for the decision for me to become Smash. And we've been together for about 39 years now. We've had a great tag team run. We put many miles on the road, best friends, training partners. All I did was follow his lead in the matches, and they were phenomenal.
yeah, next year will be the 40th anniversary of their debut. God damn.
Those guys that just inducted us in here, some of them.
I don't like that, guys. I don't like that.
They were incredible. Yes, definitely. Haku with Andre the Giant. Arn Anderson tagged with Tully Blanchard. They were the Brain Busters. We tore it up with those guys.
One of the only times the title ever changed hands on Saturday Night's Main Event was that tag with the Busters. Mr. Fuji, Master Fuji. Fuge the Stooge.
He was so much fun. And he was just a great, great man. And a good guy to be.
I kind of think Fuji was evil.
Brian Adams' crush.
Yeah.
All right.
Shout out to Crush. He should be up there with you guys. Or in spirit, he should be.
He was just a good guy, a good man, and he was one strong son of a gun.
I met Crush in a Waffle House once.
Then I have to mention my wife, the love of my life, Teresa Darso.
Teresa.
She was the best partner I ever had, Sorry Bill, and still is. She ran my whole life, and still does.
A little kid hamming it up. Hey, little fucker, don't stick your tongue out.
Son, Dakota Darso. He's a sergeant for the Roscommon County Sheriff's Department. He's a K-9 officer, the greatest son a man could ever
I said, wow, look at him. Smash Jr. He's old, too.
Dakota, I love you. And then his wife, Keely Darso.
Keely.
An incredible woman. I love her more than anything. She is the mother of my 3 grandkids.
Oh, look at him.
And can I get my 3 grandkids?
Yes, please. Your grandkids. The little smashers. Little bow tie.
Scarlett and Lincoln.
Maverick, Scarlett, and Lincoln.
And just smile.
They're all lookers, too. Look.
Just when you get back to school, tell the kids at school that they're in school today, and you're at the greatest show on earth.
Yeah, fuck you. You guys are in school. We're at the Hall of Fame.
So anyways, I'm
Kicking
gonna
it.
wrap this up. I just want to say
Kicking it with CM Punk.
Triple H, The Undertaker, the whole WWE crew is just incredible. And then I got to thank the fans.
Yeah, Barry Darso from Crusher Khrushchev to Smash to Repo Man to Blacktop Bully to the golfer. Remember the golfer? What else was he? Him and Brutus had like a million gimmicks each.
To be inducted into the Hall of Fame has been a great honor. And it's unbelievable. I look around the crowd here and I'm amazed. I see all these superstars.
I feel like I'm related to Bill Eadie. Every old person on my biological father's side of the family looks like him. Got them eyebrows.
We have been accepted into the fraternity. We've been in the wrestling community for a number of years. And now we're being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and we're allowed in the fraternity house.
I mean, this was delayed a little bit because of the concussion lawsuit stuff and other circumstances that they're in now.
That's a loud section over there. I think maybe we should do a run-in at WrestleMania. No. Hey. You run in, I'll walk in, because I'm a lot older. But there's a lot of people that I would like to thank, gave me guidance and support. Too many to mention, but I'll name a few. Guido Mongol, who was my trainer and mentor. George Scott, that gave me the character of Mass Superstar.
George Scott, yeah, he was a Mass Superstar.
Andre the Giant,
And a machine.
good friend. He trusted me. Vince McMahon Jr. and Sr. for bringing us into.
Yeah, Edie knows Senior. Edie worked for Senior.
Inoki for giving me that main event position in Japan. And of course, Mr. Fuji. Good manager, better friend. There's so many other people I like to mention. With all the talent in this room, all the talent in the wrestling fraternity, we've had so many good matches with individuals in singles and in tags. Without a good opponent, the match just doesn't work. We'd like to thank those people who went in the ring with us, just like these guys and all the people that we can't mention.
They can't mention. Why can't you mention them? If you can mention Vince, you can mention anybody.
Without the fans, you gave us the drive and ambition and desire. You gave us the support over these many years. And we truly thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to thank members of my family. First of all,
Bob Orton, yes, is definitely in the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
my wife Sue. She stood with me from day one.
Sue Edie. I'm so glad that both of their wives are alive and well.
She gave me support
That's look at his big son. That's got to be his son right there.
even when I doubted myself. She bought 3 homes while I was on the road. One of those times I didn't even know where I lived. Coming back,
I remember in 1994 reading the magazines
cell phones,
and getting the idea that Demolition might be coming back to WWE, and I was so stoked.
airport for a long time.
But it never happened.
Thank you, honey. I love you very much.
I want to say even Russo, when he was doing the Vic Venom thing, was teasing it in the magazines. 94-ish.
My son-in-law, Michael Davis, because they sacrificed as well. And I've got 4 great-grandsons.
There's Brock Anderson over there, too.
Chase and Dean.
I think I see Davey Boy Smith Jr. as well.
Finally, the reason I'm even here today, I want to thank my Lord Jesus Christ. There we go. There we go.
I think, yeah, they're both very religious.
He was with me when I was at my weakest and when I needed guidance. Thank you, Lord. I've been asked a number of times, and even today at a signing, the question, how are you going to feel being inducted into the Hall of Fame?
How are you going to feel?
Getting that title, getting the ring, getting that acknowledgement. And I harken back to a movie that I liked, Dumb and Dumber, and I'll steal the phrase.
Dumb and Dumber.
I like it.
I like it a lot. I was not expecting a Dumb and Dumber quote from Bill fucking Edie at the Hall of Fame. That's tremendous. It's the little things, you know? Oh, that was so good. They should have been in so long ago. I'm glad they got in. Well, another reason why I think I really like Demolition's induction is because this is really, really important to Axe and Smash. Some wrestlers, some legends don't give a fuck. Who was it that just left the plaque in the hotel? Other people have sold theirs on eBay. Nobody gives a shit. But you can tell that, like, Demolition was probably kind of been wondering for a lot of years, like, what the fuck? I mean, obviously the concussion thing was a reason that there was a delay. But they were one of the more glaring omissions. Like, are you kidding me? This should be like one of your first ones you do. And here it is, 2026, and they're not in yet. So the fact that they got in a standard Hall of Fame that's not during a pandemic or something, and that they're both still alive, both of their wives are still alive, whole fucking slew of family members and grandkids all could be there. I am so glad they got that moment because it was important to them. Like, they wanted to go into the Hall of Fame. They wanted to be a part of that. They deserve to be a part of that. And they're the wrestlers that care. Some wrestlers don't give a shit about it. And they did. And it was almost criminal that they were holding off so long. So unlike Vader, Macho Man Randy Savage, Sid, as we will see later, going in after they're dead is annoying. And I'm just glad that we got Demolition when they're both alive. They're both the same, just a couple of big Midwestern dudes, you know? I was a big fan of both. I was always a big fan of Bill Eadie because I really liked his promos. There's his voice, you know, like if he was a high school or a middle school at the time I would have been principal, I would have been scared shitless of him. It's that voice, that like command, like you don't want that being your dad coming home from work after you've done something wrong. You know, when your mom, like, I'm going to tell your dad, you don't want Bill Eadie to be the dad. That's not what you want. You're not going to like it at all. You're not going to like it a lot. I'm not having a Mountain Dew Baja Blast. I'm having a Mountain Dew really hard time. Oh yeah, and we got new action figures. That's usually the norm. I don't know action figure culture. I collected hard in 1999 and then stopped and never collected again. So I am out of the action figure game. I don't know what anything is, but usually when there's Legends deals signed or Hall of Fame inductions, a lot of times that is coupled with merch. So that's cool. Yeah, Odyssey, I couldn't even tell you when Orton is in the Hall of Fame. I just know, or what year he went in. I just know there's no way they wouldn't have put him in by now. Not with Randy there, you know? Plus, Ace was awesome. He would have gone, even if he wouldn't have had Randy as a son, Ace was the man. I always got a kick out of him as a kid. He could sell. His bumping was just something to behold. He was just tall and lanky. He'd bump a little Brody-like, but he was like limber. Just very light on his feet, very animated. Sometimes he'd look like Shawn's SummerSlam 05 overselling, but that's just what he would do. He was tremendous. I kind of feel like I should be in Vegas, but I ain't trying to drop 20 G's. I'll run out of G's. Look at Liv's face. Still busted. Is that Obafemi behind her? Obafemi and his wife? Her girlfriend? There's Cena. That's funny. I mean, I'm assuming him and Nikki Bella must be on terrific terms because, I mean, they're sitting right next to each other there. Kevin plays 05, huh? That makes sense. That would have been WrestleMania 21 when Orton faced Taker. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. So he went in early. Pat McAfee.
Interesting, because you weren't doing that when he was kicking my teeth in. It's hard for a celebrity to come into our house. because you have to show the same respect, the same passion, the same pride that every superstar and every member of the WWE universe.
Cole looks skinny.
That they belong, special. Because it brings a new audience, a new energy, and they create moments that everyone talks about.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame's celebrity wing.
Oh, Rodman. Rodman, where you at? Rodman, there we go. All right, so it's Dennis Rodman, I think, is going to go in here.
And no one embodied that more than the ostentatious Dennis Rodman.
If you look at him, you're not thinking any other.
I mean, Dennis Rodman isn't a terribly offensive one because of the pay-per-views he was involved in. He was involved in the biggest angle, the NWO angle. I was a big NBA fan back then, and I cannot tell you how crazy it was to conceive in my head that somebody missed practice when you're in the middle of the NBA Finals to wrestle instead. Like, it's fucking nuts, man. Like, he famously missed that practice. I think it was in 97. I can't remember if it was 97 or 98, but he missed it to be on Nitro. And then he had two pay-per-view matches and back-to-back bashes at the beaches, one of them here in San Diego.
Bad boys of wrestling with the bad boy of the NBA. What a match made in heaven.
Rodman was complete outlaw. Exactly what the NWO was. I mean, they fit in.
I mean, Rodman got nuts. I'm from Detroit. Shout out to the Pistons right there. Rodman was on these teams in 88 and 89. This is sealed, by the way. But Rodman was on these teams, and he was not crazy. He had normal-ass hair. He had no tattoos at all. He had asthma. He's just a normal dude going through life, you know. And then he just got nuts. He took a crazy pill. He took the ones that don't wear off. It's like permanent crazy pill. PCP, they're called. Permanent crazy pills. Now, is Rodman here in person? I think he is. I mean, they've put worse celebrities in than him. At least he was a part of a very, very hot period in wrestling.
Celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame. From the New World Order. Kevin Nash. Sean Waltman.
Oh, I love it. No, they really weren't involved in these matches, were they, Nash or Waltman? Because Hogan would, he teamed with Rodman to face Malone. Why isn't DDP out here? Why isn't Malone out here? And I forgot what the other match was. There's two Rodmans. Look at these two.
My voice has got something crazy going on. I'm a hermit. I don't speak very often, so just being here today.
You're a hermit. You don't speak very often. You have a podcast. Kevin Nash.
This inductee is no stranger to being inducted. He was inducted to the NBA Hall of Fame in 2011 and into the NBA's 75th anniversary team in 2021. Most importantly, he was the heart and soul of the greatest collection of athletes in sports. I'm not talking about the Chicago Bulls. I'm talking about the NWO. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Luger and Big Show. Thank you, Victor. Thank you. Yeah, AJ, they used Wolfpack theme. Dun, dun, dun. I didn't love it. Everybody loved it. I didn't.
Quick tangent. It's urban legend, but the story goes that Dennis was paid $250,000 by the WCW for his performance, and the NBA
Look at Waltman.
fined Dennis a whopping Dennis managed to skip practice, win the NBA Finals, smoke cigars on Nitro, and still walk out with 230.
He got fined $20K, but made $230 on the Nitro appearance.
When Dennis came out in that black limo, it sent shockwaves through this business. Because when you're Dennis, excuse me, when Dennis is on your TV, it's not just a big deal for wrestling, it's international news. And while Dennis lives by his own rules, he does follow one unshakable code. When you're NWO, you're NWO for life. Without further ado, it's my honor to induct into the WWE Hall of Fame, Dennis Rodman.
Isn't it a little bit morbid that the NWO for life has been proven a couple times? It's been proven most recently with Hogan, the leader of it. He proved that you are NWO for life because he was NWO for life. How many NWO members other than Hogan have passed away? Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect. Who else? Crush. Or Brian Adams. Look at Rodman. He didn't really dress up, did he? I thought he'd be wearing a dress. Where's your dress?
As you know, this is my second home, and hey man.
Homeboy could rebound though. My God, I miss him on the Pistons. I changed my mind. I do like his outfit. I was kind of hoping he'd come out in a dress, but this is actually cool. He's got the vest and the Hogan shit on.
Anyway, I had a speech up here, but just unfortunately, that Stephanie McMahon did it for me. Thank you.
Stephanie did all this shit. Is he fucking hammered?
I'm just happy to be here, man, just because the WWE gave me a chance. And WCW was great. You know, NWO for life. Yeah.
I mean, Rodman never even made an appearance in WWE, I don't think, did he? Unless he did way in the later years, but like in the last 20 or something. I mean, I'm certainly Rodman has got agents with him telling him not to be hammered, so he's probably not.
In this industry that's been physically damaged, physically hurt, disappointed, but this organization has never turned their back on these people, man. I mean, look around. You know, so that's what I love about being in my community, the wrestling world. If I had to play basketball, I'd be in this industry very well. And at least I know what loyalty is in this industry. And, boy, I would love to see a lot more shit-y stuff.
I mean, he's not as funny. Like, Mr. T was funny. This one, I'm, like, worried it's going to go south, you know? Or Bob Backlund, someone like that. Mr. T and Backlund both were weird as all hell.
Now, let's think of a couple people here, man. Let's think Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy Hart.
What a career this guy had, right?
Yeah.
This guy eats peanut butter with cucumbers in the morning.
Jimmy Hart eats weird shit. He ate weird shit on Legend's house. He eats like beans or something. Eric Bischoff. Fuck him. He's a tool.
And this is like my neighbor. She's 82 years old. She wanted to step and watch this, but damn, man, you know, she's an old woman, but love her to death. Every day, I talk to that woman every day.
Who's he talking about?
Knowing that she's dying, but I talk to her every day at my pool. I say, hey, it's It's okay, man. It's okay.
Somebody in his life is dying. I don't know. This is a very difficult speech to decipher. I mean, this is what you get for putting Rodman in. He's just as unpredictable as ever. It seems, though, that he's genuinely emotional here.
Hollywood swing, yes. You know, but yeah, man, I'm having a good time right now, man. I got that out the way.
You don't look like you're having a good time, Dennis. You look like you're struggling.
I got to speak about the person here. Another person, Nick Hogan.
Nick Hogan.
Yeah, I've been on Nick since he was like 3-4 years old. And
Yeah, he was walking around the Hogan display I saw. Still got that porn star wife, don't he?
always stood beside him no matter what he did.
Yeah, let's bring up Nick Hogan's past. That's a great idea, Dennis.
And I'm so proud of Nick, man. He seemed like a really got his shit, his stuff together.
I'm glad we're watching this together, guys. What the fuck is going on? I don't know. I'm glad. I'm just sitting here. My hands are sweating a little bit.
Bless you, Nick. Bless you, Nick. Bless everybody.
I think we're okay. I think everything's fine.
Frankie, Oceanator, everybody up there. What you got going on, love, baby?
Yeah, love, baby. What you got going on, guys? This is one of the weirdest.
Hey, no matter you sit up there in the bleachers, brother, guess what, dude? Your life is bored down here and up there all day long, brother. Yes. All day. But we'll finish this. My lovely girl, yellow. And, you know, everybody back there, George with the fellow. But here we go, guys. Here's the ending. Here's the ending right here. I love the fact
This is the ending right here.
when you can sit there, hold your head up high, and see Hulkamania, that statue, brother. And I wonder why it took so long. What took so long? You know, I hope you guys will laugh at this. A friend of mine, Hulk Hogan, told me, say, "What's you gonna do, brother? What the fuck? Hulkamania in that 24 inch python. Get a hold of you, brother."
Do the do that.
What do you want to do? Thank you guys for coming out, man. Thank you guys for having me in. Love us in the one, baby. NWO.
I think Rodman's on the joy juice. That's fine. You're in Vegas. Might as well. Good Lord. I'm not sure exactly what that was, but I enjoyed it.
Well, this is indeed the first WrestleMania without the presence of the immortal Hulk Hogan. Coming up next, one of the great highlights of WrestleMania. From the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan.
All right, we're going to get the...
It's our immortal Coming up next, at the Hall of Fame
Guys,
induction
the statue. Can we talk about the statue? Sometimes words don't even need to be spoken. Sometimes you can just look at something and laugh your nutsack off, which is what I did today when I saw the Hogan statue. Hulk Hogan once said, was overheard saying that his family would be reincarnated as a black family, and that would be karma, paying him back for the bad things that he did. And then you look at that statue. I mean, how can you not love that? Life is worth living just for like irony alone.
Rip it and bring the juice.
That flavor's just out of reach. Drop the Legos and bring the juice.
Victor, I have no idea who is going to induct their match into the Hall of Fame, if anybody is. Let me think if we can think of someone real quick that would have been around at that time. Can't have Vince do it. Bobby Heenan's dead. You know, Jimmy Hart. I mean, when Rodman shouted out Jimmy Hart, he looked in the back. So Jimmy might be here. So I think Jimmy might be out here maybe to accept, maybe not induct, maybe accept for Hogan. But it sounds like Nick is there. Who else could have something to do? Joey Morella, of course, passed away. Jesse the Body Ventura, possibly, but I think we would know if Jesse was there. I mean, Undertaker, maybe. I'm just trying to think of somebody modern who could do it. Who else worked? It would still be alive at WrestleMania 3. Steamboat. Brett. There's nobody from the Bobby Heenan family alive. Bundy and Rude and... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anybody is going to induct it. It might just be like a presentation. Maybe Triple H does it. He's sitting right there. He might get his ass up. Hey, sound off in the chat. What time is it where you live? It's 10 minutes till 11 p.m. here for me in San Diego. But if you're on the East Coast right now, holy shit, it's almost 2 a.m.
You can get a $259 per month lease on a 2026 Accord LX.
The Evergreens family vacation started with Expedia, the one place you go places. When hockey season ended, summer started. Dad knew his crew didn't need much, but they did need peace and quiet. And lots of space. So they planned their flights, car, and vacation home all in one place. Great, right? Nice job, Dad. Expedia.
Here's Hager here. Oh. Knocked a dude out. They gave him a jobber, though, for his first slap. Get Hager in there and gets one of them, like, beefy fucking guys, you know? I want to see him get his head knocked off. I do not understand how that shit is legal, how that sport is allowed. It's insanely stupid. And only the stupidest fucking people would do it, which is why Jake Hager does it.
Just down the street from where we are tonight is Allegiant Stadium, host to the two-night extravaganza known as WrestleMania, beginning with WrestleMania Saturday.
All right, got some East Coasters, 6:50 a.m. All right, it's morning time. Good morning, Cozy.
Versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship.
There's Cody and Brandy. Cody next to Triple H.
1987. I was in college watching on closed circuit the moment that got me into this business.
You're that old? I was 7. I'm old. I was sitting down watching 93,000 people pack the Silverdome, watching...
Yeah, Miz is only 3 years younger than me. I was 10. Or not even 10. I was 9.
The immovable object, Andre the Giant, and then it happened. As 93,000 people rose out of their seats, they watched the immortal Hulk Hogan brother pick up Andre the Giant and slam him. And that's when we realized that wasn't just a match. That was history.
What blew my mind about that is I had seen with my own eyes, especially in magazines, I had seen plenty of pictures of Hogan and Andre having battles, and I already knew that they had faced, and they still convinced me that this is some crazy thing that's never happened before. It's just amazing how they, I mean, also I had a 9-year-old brain, so as an adult would look at this differently, but what they were able to convince me of. And how this really felt like all these Piper's Pits leading up to it. It was, I remember, like, even as a kid, I can remember the feeling it gave me in my heart when Andre came out with Bobby. Like my heart was beating so fast. Like I was having cardiac arrest watching this shit. And to me, it was just like, God damn, I didn't think you can't even make a match bigger than this. To this day, I still think it's the biggest match. In terms of one match being responsible for all of the people coming in. You haven't had a pay-per-view like that since, ever. You've had some big crowds. And you had Savage and Steamboat on that card, and that was also a very big deal, but people were going for Hogan and Andre. That's what they were going there for. That's why everybody's there. It's like, holy shit, wrestling is huge. You know, this is right in the town I live in. I was born right next door at Pontiac General. And Andre the Giant is body slammed on the soil of Pontiac that shook the very hospital that I was born in. Like, it's awesome. Now, Andre did not go down the entire match until the very end. And then Hogan slams him. Even when he's getting slammed, Andre does the bellow. And like that was just, oh my God, so nuts. I wish the 3 count was a little better. WrestleMania 3 and WrestleMania 14, I really regret those 3 counts. The Tyson one was too fast, and the Morello one was too fast. Hogan didn't even have the leg hooked yet, and he's already down with the count. I think a little bit more delay could have added to that, but other than that, it was a perfectly executed finish. The match didn't have to be good. It wasn't. It was shit. Didn't matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, here to help enshrine this
yes. Who?
into the WWE Hall of Fame is a WWE Hall of Famer. The mouth of the South.
Oh, it is going to be Jimmy Hart. We mentioned Jimmy Hart.
Hulk Hogan's son, Nick. And
Okay.
Andre the Giant's daughter, Robin.
Andre's daughter? Oh my God. So Andre has a daughter, but last I think we had heard is that their relationship they never really had one. But we've seen her in some documentaries. Holy crap. Wow, she's tatted up, huh? Holy shit. Andre's daughter. Hogan and Andre's daughter. Jesus Christ, that's...
When we booked the building, they didn't tell us that a week before us, the Pope's going to be in the Silverdome, and then 3 days before us, the Rolling Stones are going to be there.
I kind of wish 9-year-old me could peer into the future, you know? Watching myself as an old man, watching the children of these dudes.
But I don't think we can outdraw the Rolling Stones, baby. But you know what? Like Stephanie Mann said earlier, we did 93,000 people, so praise the Lord for our fans.
Shout out to the absolute legend Jimmy Hart, who is in his 80s, mind you. He looks like he's 58.
Hulk Hogan, of course,
Nixter.
Bobby the Brain Heenan for being part of that main event.
Shout out to Bobby Heenan.
But you know what? I got a surprise for you guys over here, okay?
Imagine being Andre the Giant's child. That's actually pretty badass. Like, I don't like Hogan. He's a piece of shit. I've made my feelings clear on him. But I'm also almost 49 years old. And I was very much in the middle of all this when this was happening. So from a nostalgia perspective and childhood and things like that, it's pretty wild to see this, you know? I remember when the tape was in the video store. Finally, when it arrived in the video store, and like having to put my name down to make sure I got it. Like I want to call me first.
WWE has always been about big men. We always say superstars are larger than
What's the next person?
Andre the Giant, Big John Studd, and The Undertaker. They changed the pace. They changed
Okay, we're talking Sid here. Right? I'm assuming this is going to be Sid?
Ladies and gentlemen, the latest inductee into our legacy.
Yeah, Sid. I don't remember, guys. Did they do a Bret Austin mini statue? Did they have to fight for it? See who gets to keep it at their house? They might have just got a little plaque or something. I don't remember. I don't even remember last year. If I can pull, by the way, if I can pull this download, I'll try. I don't know if I can or not. If I can pull this download, I will post this reaction for you over on Patreon. For those who might not have access to ESPN. I'll see. Yeah, he did. He did main event twice, didn't he? One of the few guys, too, to hold the Winged Eagle and the Big Gold. Hogan, Nash, Sid, Bret, Savage. That might be it. All right, the family of Sid. Sid had a badass theme, too. His kid's got that curly hair. Look at Sid's little cowboy grandson. Look at him. Or is that an adult? He looks like a little kid. Oh, no, that's Sid's friend. That's Sid's friend. Yeah, Sid's hung out with him before. That's it. That is lame as shit, man. Sid deserved better.
When you have the smartest Wi-Fi from Xfinity, your home is the main event. WWE.
Oh, that's so disappointing.
A network so smart, it boosts the Wi-Fi to devices that need it most.
Don't worry, kid. We've got full strength.
It's like having a tag team partner that always has your back.
Everything okay up there?
We're good. There's no match for Wi-Fi this smart.
It's about to start.
Xfinity. Imagine that.
That flavor's just out of reach. Drop the Legos and bring the juice.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of these legacy inductions. I mean, not for people like Sid. You know, he's a two-time WrestleMania main eventer. Very big deal in the 1990s in WCW and WWE as he went back and forth and had a couple of runs in both companies. He did not deserve that legacy bullshit. That is...
I'm about to dive in like Q1 earnings. This is a really exciting partnership. I'm trying to focus. Trade on anything with calcium.
No legend worth watching. Took a straight and simple path. Nah. They chose challenges and changes.
Like, how do you decide, like, who goes in as a legacy? Why didn't Demolition go in as a legacy and Sid go in regular, you know?
This was never a myth. It's a legacy.
Hey, Ben. Usual?
Wait, I don't come here that often.
Busted.
The BMO digital banking app groups your spending into categories like eating out, so it's easy to keep an eye on your money.
Can I get a slice of the bun, please?
Wait, you're the Ben? Ben?
Bring on the spring at the Honda Spring event. Make every moment count with a new stylish...
Yeah, Harry, but not even, though. Like, Vader passed away, and he got a regular one. His sons came up there, you know. And Vader, I don't know why Vader would... Vader accomplish less than Sid. So it's just weird. I guess they're just judging it case by case. They're not thinking about precedents that have already been set or patterns that have already formed. They're just doing what the fuck ever. But Vader passed, Savage passed. But you're trying to think of, Savage is a megastar, but someone like Vader, he never won the title. Sid won it twice.
Great, right?
And a few times in WCW.
Expedia, the one place you go to go places.
And so his legacy, his resume, his accomplishments, and championships, they're just as impressive, if not more, than Vader. I mean, it's weird to get offended by the Hall of Fame, so it's not like something I want to rant and rave about on WrestleMania weekend. We're trying to have fun here. But it is, as someone who was a massive fan of Sid and remember everything he did, that is an offensive Hall of Fame induction for him. That's, as a fan, I expect way more for Sid. He did more in WWE than Demolition did. And so, it's just weird that he should have gotten more. Bad News and Sid deserved more. Don't do the legacy then. Or keep the legacy reserved for, really obscure motherfuckers. Somebody who's, on the fence, you can maybe not put him in or put him in. People like that, But not people who could be headliners. Sid could be a headliner. Sid could be a headliner. And he went in that way. My ESPN has stopped. I don't know if the Hall of Fame is okay. Okay, my timer is moving here, so it's a blackout on WWE's end and not on mine. Maybe WWE's blacked out and they're in timeout. They're thinking about what they've done. Are you guys, if you guys are watching and you're not just watching me and you're watching on your ESPN app or wherever the hell you're watching, are you also experiencing blackness? Or should I try to refresh? I'm going to go ahead and refresh here. Or is it over? We're supposed to get AJ. No, we're still going. The Hall of Fame isn't done, is it? And I forgot? All right, well. Okay. Maybe it got cursed. Okay, cool. You guys are all on black. Okay, so I don't have to do nothing. I can just sit back and wait. Ain't nothing worse than technical difficulties, so I'm really glad it's not me. Just kind of for lighting purposes, I have to have all my lights on, but I kind of wish I had dimmer lights, since it's kind of late at night, so I could join in the vibe, but it's still very bright in here. I got a light over here, too. I could turn this one off. No, it needs to be on. Well, hopefully they know that the Hall of Fame is blacked out for us and they're holding AJ back. Oh, there we go. Oh, we have joined the AJ Styles video package in progress. Let's get AJ on our screen here, as we have now reached the headliner, AJ Styles.
I've never been in a ring with someone that talented. I'm just proud of them.
I mean, they're keeping the Hall of Fame within a nice 3-hour span here. By the time we get AJ out there and the speeches, it's probably going to wrap up around midnight for me, 3 a.m. on the East Coast. Breakfast time if you're across the pond. Wait, I got to turn down Creed. I cannot have Creed on here. YouTube, please do not copyright me for Creed, man. I didn't mean it. It was an accident. I would never intentionally listen to Creed. Sandman retired tonight. All right, for those just tuning in, it's time for AJ Styles to go into the Hall of Fame. Hit the thumbs up button if anybody hasn't yet. Thanks to everyone who's being here. Staying up late. Good audience this late. Maybe I should do more like live streams this late. This is early for me.
The benchmark for what it is to be a professional both inside and outside of the ring. He became a hero for a generation of wrestlers.
Hope you guys are able to join us tomorrow and Sunday. Watch along of WrestleMania Saturday and WrestleMania Sunday. We're going to be sticking around after both watch-alongs to do a review of both shows. So if you want to hang out and you're cool with, like, watching bald dudes on your TV screen or your computer screen for, like, 5 hours at a time, then this channel might be for you. We might have just what you're looking for. I'm not surprised AJ chose Creed. He's from Georgia. Yeah, who's going to induct him? We don't know. Ah. Okay. I should not. That's mean. I should not be like, Your inductors should be who you pick, and so this is who AJ wants. But he did say, I don't think these guys were his first choice. I think there were some people he may have wanted that WWE couldn't allow. Cough, cough, TNA. Or I'm sorry, AEW. So, Gallows and Anderson it is. Who do you think he really wanted? Who do you think his number one pick would have been?
Styles into the 2026 WWE Hall of Fame.
You know, AJ went from
the gay community.
The soul of TNA
I'm just saying, there's things out there.
To becoming one of the men, if not the man, that pushed the Bullet Club into the mainstream. And when he signed with WWE, he became the face that runs the place.
I've always spoke over the years, you guys know. I don't think I've ever had anything but positive things to say about AJ and his run in WWE and how surprised. I still am blown away by it 10 years later. I never thought Vince would have that much trust in someone he didn't know and didn't come and wasn't birthed inside of his weird little bubble. And when he came in, it felt like they treated him the way you would treat a Shawn Michaels. And that was a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting that from WWE. Hey, is that Aaliyah there? Was that her name, Aaliyah?
Anywhere in the world, on any given night, if a young talent was looking for advice or feedback, AJ Styles was the first guy to stand up and hand that out. It's true.
Laying the groundwork for his backstage job, making sure he gets hired.
In Southern California, backstage at an independent professional wrestling show, AJ Styles is backstage visiting, and this is AJ Styles, the people that look at the dude that everybody looks up to. He's the guy in 2006. And little did I know that a decade later, AJ and Gallows and myself would come to WWE and do so many cool things. But I'm watching AJ Styles backstage at this show, and this young independent wrestler walks up to him and goes, "Mr. Styles, do you have any advice for me after you watch my match?" AJ looked at him, and I'm watching with bated breath, man. This is AJ Styles. I'm a broke independent wrestler. I'm watching AJ with every move he's doing. AJ goes, yeah. If you can't take or throw a forearm, get out of the frickin' business. That's not the end. I'm watching, I'm wondering what's gonna happen. AJ grabs a guy like this, and he goes, wham! See? Wham! See? And the kid walks away like this. Says, thank you, Mr. Styles. That's when I realized for real, in 2006, that AJ Styles' finisher would be the phenomenal four.
How is 2006 20 years ago? That's just mind-blowing, man.
And on that note,
yeah, Abyss or Jarrett, sure. Samoa Joe.
and let's go old school.
Yeah, Joe or Daniels. Yeah, JJ, I think you're right.
Carl, I need you to conjure up
Both are
a machine gun.
with that other company that apparently is not competition, but competition enough for you not to want their talent on your show.
Please join me in welcoming the newest member of the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2026. In my opinion, the greatest professional wrestler on God's green earth. Say it with me, the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Man, WWE, they should have let Daniels do it, man. Gallows and Anderson were fine. I just think that AJ's first choice or second or third would have been better. They don't want none. This thing is going to end before midnight. I can't imagine AJ having a 45-minute speech here, but he might. We'll see if AJ breaks some records here. Triple H's speech from last year, still ongoing. They don't want none. Happy WrestleMania, Mike Witt. Happy WrestleMania to everybody in the chat hanging out tonight. Proud of y'all for staying up late. I know not everybody is living in a late time zone right now, but a good chunk of people live on the East Coast. So if you're one of them people, good job. I'll be up till 3 a.m. tonight too. Only my time. Shane Helms.
Said to me today, don't get out there and get emotional, AJ. I said, dude, that's not fair. I just kind of retired in January.
Kind of retired.
Still having withdrawals from wrestling. It's going to be a little hard for me not to get emotional. So if I do, call me a baby. That's fine.
AJ, I do like your tux. You're hilarious. Look at Gunther. Fuck Gunther. Hey, AJ, you don't have to work out anymore. You can let yourself go. It's great. It's a great time to be alive. Nobody to impress anymore.
You see, when you do that, that makes it very complicated.
They're chanting one more match already.
Enjoyed being AJ Styles. Loved everything about it. The ring.
AJ to me is on that short list of timeless performers, and what I mean by that is put into tape of their matches in any decade in history, and it will have the same reaction. AJ's on that list. Sean is on that list. Eddie is on that list. Feel free to add more, but those are my top three.
I've been in the ring with you. I could see it. We all had the same thing. It's addictive. It's great. It's fun. The locker room.
Yo, is AJ smashing Aaliyah? Is that what's going on? Or not AJ, Balor? Is that what's going on there? Good for him.
People that I got to meet. Stuff you don't forget. That community that we got to hang around with. Not everybody gets to do that. For you guys that sit out here, we're the lucky ones. I want you to think about this. There are more professional athletes.
Mike Witt, thank you for the $5. Tito update. This is exactly what he's doing right now. Under the desk right now. That green light is my power strip screwed to the side of my desk wall. And that's Tito sleeping. He's right there. I like his ring. Look at the size of that thing. That's Kazarian? Cool. Okay, I guess they can show him.
Crazy that I said I kind of like the plane rides, the long ones, the train rides, the tours in Europe, the tours in Japan. I love that, guys.
Asuka and Kyrie.
But to answer the question, do I miss wrestling? This is going to surprise you a little bit. The answer's no.
You don't? Well, wrestling misses you, AJ.
To go home to my family every night.
Is your wife going to let you keep that hair forever, or is she going to put her foot down? Damn, check out Wendy.
I don't have to miss any more birthdays.
Look at these kids. Look how old his sons are. Why does every young man, young boy have that haircut now? They're all the same. They're little carbon copies of each other. If you're like 17 or 18, you got that broccoli shit going on.
AJ, to see what kind of game you're having that day, or to talk you back into the game after you got hurt real bad. I got to be there for your wrestling matches, Abe. I get to see them now. Albie, your music capabilities and what you hear that most people get in the music that you make is just astounds me.
See, all of his kids do shit.
And as much as I get the chance to spend time with my family, man, it's even better when I get to spend time with just me and my wife. We get to get away and reconnect. Man, I'm telling you.
He loves Wendy. He loves Wendy.
Now listen, I've sat where you sat, guys. I know how long this night can be. We got some important days coming up. There's a lot of people I need to thank. So let me say it this way. If there's ever a promoter that I've ever worked for, thank you. If there was ever talent that I was able to get in the ring with, thank you so much. And if I ever told you that I love you, I meant it.
The teleprompter helps with the timing. This is going to be a reasonably timed show.
I guess at the end of the day, I don't really have to be away from wrestling. I don't have to be the phenomenal AJ Styles anymore. But the job that I'm getting within the WWE, the opportunity that I have here in the WWE to stay with this company and be a part of this family, my job is to find the next phenomenal one.
I was trying to remember from last year. I'm like, who was it that made Bianca Belair roll her eyes? Like, longest ass speech, and Bianca was like, fuck, it was Michelle McCool. That's who it was. This one's been much better. Last year was a little bit annoying. Michelle talked for 2.5 hours.
But I'd like to think that my faith and what I believe in had me at the right time, at the right place, with the right person watching. I am so blessed to have what I have and have done what I've done. It was divine intervention. I'm just saved by grace, by the grace of God and my Savior Jesus Christ.
Give yourself a little credit, AJ.
That I was able to do something like that and be in front of you guys, and I'm so thankful for that.
I'd be willing to argue you did that all on your own.
So, it's when I look in the mirror.
Joe, or Mike, thanks for the 5. When I think of TNA, I think AJ and Joe. Curious if Joe is there. I don't know. Probably not.
Supposed to make it to places like this, but here I am, and because of you, I did. So I am humbled and honored to be a member of the 2026 WWE Hall of Fame.
It's like the shortest headliner in history.
And thank you very much.
Stephanie got an hour. What do we get out of AJ there? 13 minutes? That's including Gallows and Anderson? I mean, that's fine. Whatever. Maybe AJ, maybe who he wanted to induct him, WWE was saying no on everything. He's like, fuck it then. Let's just get it over with. Maybe he didn't care as much.
AJ Styles, thank you all for joining us tonight. It has been our honor and privilege. We will see you tomorrow. Sunday at WrestleMania. This in the class of
That's crazy. That was only a 2 hour and 24 minute. It ended early because the little time bar there goes all the way to the top of the hour. Huh. Interesting. I wonder if who went short. I mean, Sid should have gotten so much more time. Bad News should have gotten more time. They actually had time to spill here. These Hall of Fames are so ridiculous, guys. Like, they either go so long that fans start dropping dead in the audience to being so unbelievably short to where they could have given some more time to some people who didn't get it. Ugh. What do I think about the fans chanting, thank you, Vince, tonight? I think fans are fucking idiots. That's what I think. Thanks for the $5, Mike. Of course they're going to chant that. Same type of fucking losers that chant that everywhere they go. But my God, that was, honestly a good Hall of Fame. One thing I do love about and this version of it is that it's downsized a bit. No more putting it in a big arena. No more pairing it with SmackDown, breaking down the ring, and then setting up the Hall of Fame right after the show and reconfiguring the seats. Like, hold this at a separate venue, smaller venue. This works out better for Vegas because everything's right there. So you can literally just walk to next door. Maybe this wouldn't work in every city, and it might have to go back to being the old way next year in Saudi or future years. I don't know. But I really like that setup the best. Like in 2004, maybe even in 2005, wasn't even in a big building yet. 2004 was great. It was in a banquet hall. Then like 05, 06, and maybe even 07, I really loved the setups. And then maybe by the time we got to 2010 and 11, they just started, I remember the year Shawn went in. It's like it just turned into like the Raw set. They just basically turned it into the TV set and used that for the Hall of Fame. And then it morphed into them doing that thing with the ring the year that Bret Hart got attacked. And I've just I felt like the Hall of Fame has been a shell of itself ever since. The setup here I liked much better. If they can just, and a lot of the speeches tonight I liked. I liked Stephanie's. I liked Demolition's. Wish I would have gotten more out of AJ. And I even liked the Hogan Andre thing. But if we could have given a little bit more respect and love to Psycho Sid and Bad News Brown, and maybe, let AJ have his first choice. I feel like Gallows and Anderson did not spend a lot of time inducting AJ, and AJ's speech was very short as well. All of Stephanie McMahon's daughters and her mom spoke for about a half an hour, and then Stephanie spoke for a half an hour after that. And AJ didn't speak for hardly a fraction of that. Not because WWE made him do it short. It might have just been his choice. But the timing of it was good. It only lasted 2.5 hours. I thought it would go 3, but I think it could have gone 3 without being overwhelming because you are, on West Coast time here. And you could have ended it at a reasonable time and still given a little bit better of an induction to Sid Vicious. and bad news. Those were really, really disappointing. Their families were in the audience, but they didn't even let them come up on stage. They could have both came up on stage and just talked for 5 minutes each. That's it. That's all you had to do. But it was too much for them. But the Stephanie induction was good. Demolition was good. Like I said, I liked the setup of it. It was fun seeing all the wrestlers there in the audience and whatnot. But there was a couple disappointing things about that. And I'm with L Train there. Sid should not have been a legacy. So there's my kind of quick thoughts on the Hall of Fame. But thanks for staying up late and watching it with me, guys. I appreciate it. But we're going to keep going tomorrow. We pick things right back up tomorrow. I think the show is 6 Eastern, right? So we're going to be live tomorrow for WrestleMania Saturday Night 1, 3 p.m. Pacific for me. I got to be ready to be on camera and live streaming for that tomorrow. Should be fun. That is a good question or good thought there, Alejandro. I really hope you're right about that. I didn't even think about the Hall of Fame taking place after they go to Saudi. What I might like to see next year is them tape it, because, you can't like bring all your family to Saudi Arabia, I mean, you can, but, some of these inductees, might not want to bring all their kids and shit over there or whatnot. So maybe what you do next year is you tape this thing a week in advance, closed door, keep the spoilers out there. You can get some spoilers on it, and hear some tidbits, but nobody's going to see the actual airing of it until it airs. Tape it a week earlier, have everybody fly in with their gowns, and you can dedicate a bunch of time to it, and then you just air it on the Friday night before WrestleMania the following morning for those here in the States. That's what I would do. So maybe next year they'll do something like that. Maybe I wouldn't necessarily maybe hold it live. I would tape it and then still air it while they're in Saudi Arabia. That way, if you want to be able to have as many people in that Hall of Fame as possible in terms of wrestlers and old-timers and people like that, it's much easier to fly them into a city than doing it in Saudi Arabia. So that actually is a really good thought there. I've been worried that the Hall of Fame would be in Saudi Arabia, but now that we think about it, it might make more sense just to tape it over here, unless Saudi Arabia's WrestleMania bid includes the Hall of Fame. They might want that. But if not, if it doesn't matter, then I would tape it over here and air it during Mania week. That's how I'd do it. Anyway, Mike Witt's got 5 more. I'm happy Steph is in. She deserves it. I will always, China deserves to be in on her own too. It's time to put her in on her own. Yeah, I think so too. I'm at least glad that China got a little bit of recognition with DX, and they did bring her up and they did talk about her, and she is technically a Hall of Famer now. But she should go in on her own. But Stephanie does deserve it. She was an incredible character. I was always entertained by Stephanie, for the most part, except for that authority crap and whatnot. Anyway, well, it's late, guys. I still have to eat a steak. I'm hungry, so I'm going to do that. And I will be catching you guys tomorrow for WrestleMania Night 1. Y'all have a good night. See you tomorrow. Peace.